All right, real quick before we begin, if you're planning on purchasing anything from TCGPlayer to support the channel, if you can click on this link right here in the YouTube video description, it'll take you to TCGPlayer where you can support me by purchasing singles you would already be buying. What's going on, everyone? And a big thank you to everyone who just clicked that link in the YouTube video description to shop TCGPlayer on the singles that you'd already be buying. So first up here, I just wanted to touch on, welcome back to the Market Watch. We're going to be talking about a couple of the new leaders in the format like Bonney, but then we're also going to touch on things like Dofi and just things that have impacted it. Also, we'll talk about reprints in this Market Watch, my thoughts on those, and then if you stay for the end, at the end I'll have a little treat on just cards that I'm skeptical on and what I will be doing, so do that at your own risk. I'll obviously know this is financial advice, but so first up we have the PSA Magazine Luffy at $199. You can see here a couple sales. So what's interesting about this Luffy is you got it from PSA by signing up for Collectors Club back in May. I believe May 31st was the last cutoff. I did a video about that, but it is an absolutely phenomenal card. A lot of people are excited. It's the purple Luffy leader, and it features all of the straw hats. The card, I think this card's overvalued. A lot of people haven't received them, myself included. I think this card goes down. I think it sits around the $100 area. Obviously, people are trying to move theirs for as much as they can. So I just wanted to highlight this first. Tell you to be careful, proceed with caution if you decide to pick this card up. I would definitely hold out at least another week and a half, because a lot more people should get theirs in hands because they've been shipping out. And everybody's going to start undercutting each other because a lot of people have signed up. Well, there's a lot of people who are signed up who just are receiving this and are going to want to get rid of it. And then there's going to be just a bunch of undercutting. So the way I see it, I've always thought this card's about $100. I think if Purple Luffy comes back, you know, it'll see a spike at that point. But I think it's pretty solid at about 100, and people are going to have bought it to try to make up most of their membership fee. So, yep. But then we go on, again, just kind of touching on reprints. You can see here, I think these were actually at like 130. There were a couple at one point like 130, as you can see here, but sitting around 150 for Paramount War sealed. That's honestly, I mean, some of us are paying this for like modern boxes for like, you know, set 7. Like I paid 130, I think, after taxes for set 7. You of course have to pay taxes if you're in one of those states, but great opportunity here if you're just looking to open that, if you never have, or just looking to add this to your collection. I think it's just really cool to see Paramount War back at this price. As you can see, it was kind of crazy. It was actually so crazy I just considered getting rid of mine because I had only opened one. But let's go ahead and continue on some of my favorite cards from Paramount War. Smoker back down to about 67. He was kind of sitting up there, but he wasn't selling. But people were asking an egregious price as there's more stock because the new Smoker support. But he's finally come back down to, once again, another reasonable level. I'm going to be looking to pick one of these up soon. My price is probably about $60 because I don't think Uncle Smokey's gonna be good. I don't think he's worth this. I think a lot of people are fans of the character, and that's really what's driving his value. But as you can see, there's not a lot of sales. Not very frequently people aren't picking this up. My number would be 60. I think a good number is 55, but I would just do it at 60 because I'm so tired of not owning this card. And then of course, Queen. They've reprinted Structure Deck Kaidos. Queen is down. Walmart had a huge restock of them as well. So big box stores, to some extent, have received them. I imagine it will continue to some degree. And the One Piece stores too. But we can finally see an actual reasonable price. We haven't seen this in forever on Queen. The last time that was like July, was like last year, was the last time that we saw prices. So like record highs. Now we're down to the lows. So great opportunity to pick these up or just buy the decks. Whatever works. Just compare the price. You might be able to get the decks for cheaper. Check your local stores too. They might have gotten the restock. So definitely something. But yeah, this card was gatekeeping a lot of people from Law, from Purple, from a lot of different things. And of course, so diving into the decks, we've got Doflamingo. Doflamingo is super hyped. Shout out the Wimmy boys. You've got this card here. It's at $10, $11. Very strong if you play it. Previously, this card was about a $3, $4, $5 card. Finally has some value. If you've been holding on to them, might be time to finally get rid of them once again. I know, like, especially if you picked them up around here, because like at $4, I mean, I would have picked up a couple too. Just because, like, again, there's some cards that like are just so cheap, and you're like, well, if the card thesis is good, like if it seems like a decent card, I think it's worth just owning. But yeah, so we've got this, and then another one of my favorite blue cards. So like I had this, and I almost traded this into my locals. I sat there for a second, and then I was like, I actually don't want to give this up yet. Why? Because OP-07 isn't in the reprint set, so there's not going to be reprints. But also, this card is very strong for the Warlords package, and they're getting a structure deck later down the line. So the card's already holding pretty strong. I was kind of bummed when I pulled it, but turns out it's actually a really great card. It's about $30. And honestly, I think it's a card that I would just hold because I think there's more potential. It looks great, and it is a strong card for the Doflamingo deck that will get support for us in about 5 months. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold on to this. Also might be a great opportunity to pick up the super rares for super cheap, because then in about 5 months, this card might become relevant again if Doflamingo comes back. But on top of that, you have to remember, so there's a ban list coming, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're interested to see my video theorizing what could be in that ban list, because there is confirmed some sort of ban restrict list. Whether they ban things or unban things is to be determined. We won't know until we find out, but something to look forward to. But yes, with that in mind, I think this card, I think it's just safer to hold. A ban list will be announced next month, and assuming it's gonna be for Asia, but we can assume it will cascade down to us here in the English card game. So I think this card has a lot of potential depending on what that future holds for us. And then Bonney, of course, is the deck that everybody is talking about. It wasn't very popular in Asia, but it is super popular here. My locals is filled with Bonney. You just run the Bonney gauntlet. Like, I get infinite Bonney testing just by playing at my locals. But so we have Eustace Kid, confirmed reprint, and premium reprint booster. And I will also be releasing a video kind of talking about the premium reprint booster and just my overall thoughts, cover all the cards that we've seen so far, and so on and so forth. But Eustace Captain Kid confirmed. There will be prints of the regular version and allegedly new alternate arts for all of these cards. But Eustace, OP-01's been reprinted. He was sitting at a clean 40 for a bit, came down just a little bit, and is coming back down, kind of making his way back up because he's played in Bonney, but he's not super played. Great opportunity to pick one up if you plan on playing green this set. If not, I would 100% wait until that premium reprint booster. But with things like that in mind, you can kind of see, yeah, this one went off, but this one really went off in terms of price value. So it does just show you, when you pick up those alternate arts, they do cost a bit more, but they do hold their value just a little bit better. And what we know now is going forward with these premium reprint boosters, they're not going to like reprint the alternate arts. They should introduce new alternate arts, which in sets like this, because it is OP-01, I think they hold up just a little bit better. But something to keep in mind, of course, is it is OP-01. Other sets might not hold the same way. But again, great opportunity if you want to play these. I know some people like to play max rarity cards, and it's a lot cheaper. I actually just traded mine in towards some aces. I picked some up forever ago at 20 when I was like, yeah, this card's going to be good with Uda. And then other people listened. And then, of course, I think I got rid of one around here too, like the 100-ish area. But then I was like, okay, I've been holding this forever, and I need aces. So I went ahead and traded in for that. But again, the green train is just not stopping overall. You just see here, Hody was about $3-4. I was just the other day sitting there like, man, I should buy some Hodies, because it was just like, this card, it's the best green card, arguably. And it's really strong in Bonney, because if you don't go after their leader and they, you go after their searchers, they continually gain value, and then they get to drop Hodies, and it doesn't really hurt them, and they continue to create value. Really strong card. It's gone up a lot. Maybe you have some of these lying around. Great time to move it. But yeah, as we continue to see the competitive scene shape up, a lot of people are going to be moving towards Bonney, it feels like. But I think that's really going to be driving these prices. So, a lot of these reprints are, of course, happening. This is OP-06. Unlikely to be in the set, but it is relevant now. And then, of course, we also have Zoro. I imagine this is going to be in the reprint set, but it is a super crucial card for Mini and Bonney. Plus, you can also play it in Uda if you decide to go with Uda this format. But as you can see, a card was $20. Boom, now it's like 37, sitting 35, 37. So huge spikes on this. It's also in the Bandai second anniversary collection. You won't get that till 2025. So you won't see it for a long time. But if you do just want one, it looks phenomenal. Definitely go check those out. But yeah, so just wanted to highlight Zoro. He's gone up a bunch. I did mention he was, of course, like a good green card. And then I wish I got him down here. I think I bought one at release for like 17, but I paid about 20s on the rest. But yeah, now he's sitting 37. I imagine this might go up more if we see it more in play too. So just something to keep your eyes on. Maybe it's time, if you're not playing green, maybe it's time to get rid of them, because I don't see this not being in the premium reprint booster. And of course, Doflamingo. I actually own a lot of these. I wish it went up more, but it is back up. It did go down just a little bit. Again, like OP-04, OP-03, seeing reprint less. It feels like their value is almost more than like OP-02, but they do, of course, have stronger cards. But yeah, it's going up towards 6. I would love to see this card hit 8. Personally, it helped me out a lot because I could just unload a bunch of them, because I think I have like 2 pages that I picked up for like $1 before green really took off. And then, of course, again, like still plenty of opportunity out there, and just want to kind of highlight that. Maybe you weren't familiar, but the Championship Series 2023 packs from Nationals, a lot of these cards sometimes get overlooked. But, of course, we kind of already talked about Doflamingo. Here's another example of that. This card is $55, and yes, there have been a couple sales. You see some 40, 50s, some 30s. I bought a couple of these way back here at like 25 just because I wanted to add them to my collection, because I think this is really cool, and I'm slightly a Mihawk fan. But great opportunity to get rid of yours. They don't sell a lot, but if you have some, maybe just undercut some people, maybe try the Facebook groups. But did just want to highlight this. If you had this and you're like, yeah, I know a lot of the Nats cards just cratered because every single person had them and put them online. And then not a lot of people wanted them because everybody got them while they were there. Huge thing, but yeah, definitely something to keep your eyes on. And then, of course, so this one is something that I've also been eyeing. I've been telling myself I should pick some up. So this is kind of like a, call it alpha, call it whatever. But this is a card that's highly speculated in Sanji because it's a 4/7 rusher. And it's a 6k during your opponent's turn instead of a 7. So a lot of people are thinking this and Kid Killer. So there might be some combo there. This is more of like a long-term play, but these gift collection, this card looks phenomenal. I think it is I know there's Ace in the set, and I love him, but I think this is the best-looking card in this set. I think, there's not a lot of cards left in terms of like what's there. A lot of people aren't going to be opening these gift sets again, so it's definitely something that could be up there. I know there's a super pre-release one, but this is definitely like the best version outside of the Treasure Cup version, so definitely just something to think about. Then, of course, this is a card that I've been watching as well. Got Ace. I just wanted to make sure the price was still there. It's about 33, 35. I just picked some up for 35 at locals. It seems to be fluctuating between 35, 37. A couple here at 30 as people continue to undercut each other. But you can kind of tell, like, so this is very popular for Enel, but it's also popular for decks to come. Like, I've seen people playing what's his name? Vegapunk. There we go. Vegapunk in there in OP-08, and then we also see Pudding, and I've seen Pudding lists play this as well, just because the rush and you gain a life is just overall very strong, and it allows you to take a life knowing that you're going to drop this to go down the one, because you're just right back at 2, and it's great for removals. So I think this card just long term is going to be a staple across a number of yellow decks, and I just imagine it now just gets better over time and will always have his moments. And again, there is going to be a ban list in Asia, and we don't know what's on it, so maybe he's on it, but maybe he's not, and then yellow's the best deck. So it really just creates a lot of opportunity for other decks to rise up, and it's just something you got to think about. And then, of course, back to Bonney. You know, I mentioned this card on the channel at around $6, telling you all that you need to play Cavendish for Bonney, and then, boom, it's 20 bucks. 22s. I know the Luffy TCG, the GOAT, or the Luffy TV, the GOAT, he had some on his site for 14 bucks, and my friend scooped those up the other day. And then, of course, we have the alternate art sitting at around $36.40. This one moving up less so, and again, it just really highlights like playability. It goes up. These hold value better, but they usually don't increase dramatically like singles do. This one from 6 to 20, which is almost like 300%, and this one from like 20 to like 60, so it's like 75%. So of course, whenever it comes to these, but these also can decrease drastically, whereas those don't decrease drastically as well. So just something to keep your eyes on. But yeah, Cavendish, if you bought them, congrats. Let me know in the comments below if you bought Cavendish from my previous videos. And then we've got Sabo. That's a fake price, but he's about 22. So this card, I think it goes one of two ways. I've been screaming buy Sabo since he was like 10 bucks. He went up to 20. They went back down to 10 and was like 9. I've screamed buy Sabo. He's forever important in black. Only way I see this card goes down is, one, they reprint him in the premium booster, which would be great. But if they don't, this card is going to get scarce really fast just over time, in my thoughts, if he doesn't get banned. 2, OP-04 is just kind of hard to get your hands on, and it just hasn't been like slated for reprints because it wasn't in demand. So I'm big on Sabo. There is the reprint in the Bandai premium set, but it's a super expensive set, and it also just you should just get the Sabo leader. I like, it's 17 bucks. It hurts my soul because I paid like $40 for one the day I was going to a convention just so I could get it signed. And I was like, I know this is too expensive, but mine had a dent in it that I already had, and I didn't want to get rid of a dent. You know, I didn't want to get a dented one signed, so it is what it is. But I just think this is a great opportunity. Maybe not at this price, because OP-05 is getting reprinted this month, and I believe next month there should be restocks hitting, so this could go down even further. But at $17 on one of the hyped sets with a leader that is so positioned to be good, but they just won't let him be, I'm big on Sabo. I just think you should pick it up. I'm just going to try to go through this really fast because it took a little bit longer. Same thing with Zorojuro. I don't know if this gets... Again, I think a lot of cards are just kind of going down because of premium reprint booster. This card is only good in Law. I imagine Law gets banned, so be careful. But this card is a great card, and with less removal, this card is a bit more sticky. And it's back to almost like where it was, about $20, so it feels relatively safe. Again, OP-05 reprints are coming, so these are kind of just something you want to watch. If this goes like 15, I would 100% pick them up. Not financial advice. And I would definitely pick them up using the link in the YouTube video description, but appreciate you for clicking that. And now just to kind of talk about some of the things. So there's a ban list coming. Well, there's a ban update. And there is always the argument that a lot of people are like, ban Law. Well, if you unban Sakazuki, Sakazuki's just going to check everything again. Maybe the solution is that. I don't know. What I do know is it seems these sets continue to power creep. And if you think about Sakazuki in his prime, he was $100 easy. I talked about Newgate when Newgate was banned, and Newgate came unbanned. His price went back up. Sokka's banned. If you ever wanted a Sokka leader, I would say now's the time to buy. There is, of course, the OP-05 reprints, so it could go down just a little bit. there is the OP-05 reprints. But if they unban him, this card's $80 again. Easy. $80. It hit 60 when it was announced it was going to be banned. It just slowly trickled down because everybody knew it was going to get banned. And then, of course, this Luffy, I think, is the most underrated card in the game. Yes, I realize it's 2 per case, but this price just makes me sad, y'all. This card was designed, the art was designed, drawn by Oda himself. I think if red ever comes back, this card is the best red card. This card looks phenomenal. This card looks like a prize card. I think everybody should have this card. If I had more money to spend, I would just buy another playset. Like, I have probably 8 copies of this card, and I paid like $20 for all of them. And I would 100% buy more at 10. I think it just has the most potential. This card is like one of the best cards in the game, hands down. I'm a fan. And then, of course, just kind of jumping back to bans. You know, a lot of people in Yu-Gi-Oh! Buy banned cards, and when they become unbanned, you just make a lot of money. You buy 38. I don't recommend you buy 38, but I've bought 2 play sets. I might buy 2 more and just hold these because this card was $13 before it was banned. This card was $13 before it was banned, and it just slowly made its way down because everyone's like, oh, I can't use it anymore. I think this card goes right back up as soon as it's unbanned. This card is so good, so good. But as always, thank you so much for watching. If you found this content of value, if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. And if you're going to shop these singles, click that link in that YouTube video description. Thank you.